discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 103 and we are in patch 6.2.4. Tonight we're going to be talking about the BlizzCon announcement, giving you all the informations regarding that, all the Legion things, including the Order Hall campaigns that were launched this last week. We also have the Shaman Hall walkthrough and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
World of Warcraft trade chat. Troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the PWNCAST podcast. These are their stories.
Welcome back. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the Death Knight who's working on getting hand transplants in.
Yeah. There's a comment there. I'll be nice.
I was gonna say Edward Scissorhands, but I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up.
It's getting bad. It's starting to look like this, so I need to actually get them cut. And
this is my strong hand.
It's from overuse. Use your imagination.
That's disturbing and intriguing at the same time. So fucking weird. I did also bring. He put his own intro. The monk who was trying the very best like no one ever was during the Pet Battle bonus event, Jimma Banks.
It's like they come and go, but everyone is just that much more special, you know? The Pet Battle bonus event. I hope you guys enjoyed yours. One more evening. Go level them pets.
I don't know what to do with this guy. The fuck? I did also bring the priest who's now the fresh meat on the show. Jimma Banks is no longer the new guy. Now it's SecretSauce. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Thanks for the invites.
Well, we'll see how it goes after this if you get a returning invite.
I know, right? Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll go to work. I'll go to work on Mondays.
You already have a whole fan base already in chat of the stream. They're already hashtagging Team SecretSauce.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Is there a secret sauce that we should know about, or?
It's spread around.
Whoa. Whoa.
Look at Jim smile. He's like, yeah.
I think everyone on the raid team just knows they're replaceable, so they really have to support them.
It's pretty accurate.
I hope so. I don't know who's going to take over now, so...
So lots to talk about this week, especially with, I don't know, if I'm going to assume that's apple juice.
It's apple juice.
Okay,
we'll go with that. It's apple juice.
We'll go with it's apple juice. The BlizzCon dates were announced. If you've been living under a rock somewhere, then you didn't hear about it, but they were announced. It's going to be November 4th and 5th. The tickets go on sale. The first round goes on sale Wednesday, April 20th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, then Saturday, April 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, the thing that's important is they did change the ticketing vendor this go round, so they're not using Eventbrite. We don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because I don't know anything about this ticket vendor. It is universe.com, so make sure that you guys go to universe.com and you pre-registered. So you've already created your account. That way when ticket goes on sale, you can open up all the tabs and do all the things to make sure that you do get the tickets. The tickets are $199 plus tax. I think it was like, what, $203 or $206?
American taxes.
Yeah, I don't really remember the exact amount, but it is $199 plus tax, so make sure that you have that ready. Also the charity dinner, which is the Children's Hospital of Orange County, it's $750 for those tickets plus tax. Well, no, I don't think it's tax because it's a charity event. Those go on sale April 27th. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's nice if you can afford to support the cause. I am a broco and can't afford to support that cause. So,
don't we start the fundraising for our tickets? Like, don't you have the thing for everyone to donate this show for all of our...
I should, so people can pay for us to go to BlizzCon. Because...
That's what I'm saying. No, for the $750 ticket each.
I'm not bad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For a dinner, I mean, I understand it's charity and you get to hobnob with all the Blizzard royalty, right? Like, that's the main attraction outside of it being for charity. The charity is a good thing, so if you have the means to be able to go, by all means, please buy the ticket and go and support I mean, it's Children's Hospital. What's a better thing for that? But I am just going to go to McDonald's and have a fucking Happy Meal and then just support them in any other way I can that does not involve spending a lot of money on the dinner. But the dinner's always really good. Everybody's always talked very highly of the dinner. So here's some good things I wanted to talk about in regards to planning your BlizzCon trip. So BlizzCon does their own, they contract with the hotels in the area to get a special rate for the BlizzCon goers. I don't really know if that's actually a better rate, to be perfectly honest. I booked several rooms right after last year's BlizzCon, and I have several rooms throughout. Like, I got hose in all area codes because I didn't know where we wanted to stay, and we're doing the group thing. So I knew you were going to.
Sorry.
So I booked several because you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance. So they do have their own housing thing when you go to BlizzCon. It's blizzcon.com, and they'll give you that information. You can go and you can change your reservation if you go through their housing system as well. Now, the thing to make sure that you're aware of is sometimes something happens to reservations. Sometimes they just disappear. So you want to make sure throughout from now until November that you're just checking up on your reservation to make sure it's there. If you're making plans with people, you're going to do a group thing for, 2 queens in a room. Please be aware of the people that you're making these plans with, because I cannot tell you the amount of people we see in the BlizzCon group a month before their friends have started to flake out. They've sold their ticket. They're not going, and then they're kind of left holding the bag with zero they can do as far as that reservation if they went for like a higher end room. So make sure that you guys are aware of that. Also, 99% of where the party is at is Hilton. That's where the central location where all the Blizzard guys are in the lobby, all the people are in the lobby. There may or may not be bell twerking. It depends on how much alcohol Bloat gives me this year. Not really sure how that's going to go, but the Hilton. So when we book our stuff, we book it around the Hilton because I don't want to walk drunkenly very far, right? Because then you don't really know where you're going to end up. And the Hilton is
good. We don't want to be responsible for you anyways.
Right.
So.
Like, you don't have to put a kid leash on me, guys. We're going to be...
A little backpack?
I did get lost once and ended up in Midwinter's room, and I thought Lycan was going to have a heart attack because they couldn't find me. And I was partying with Midwinter, and I just ended up that way. It just happened.
Who was it? Were you with Celestalon?
For a brief moment in time, we bonded over shots.
I actually found his personal Facebook page and was like direct messaging Celestalon's personal Facebook page going, if you've seen my co-host, can you please send her back?
God, Dad. But make sure when you're making plans that you're being aware of it. The good news is a lot of people are like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to afford to go to BlizzCon. Here's what you should know about that. If the immediate thing you need to be concerned with is the ticket, right? Acquiring the money for the ticket. You acquire the money for the ticket, you get the ticket, and you have from now until then to do your plane. If people are driving down that are in your area, there's a Battle to BlizzCon group on Facebook, and these are the travel plan people, where you can go in there and you can find other people in your area. Maybe they're carpooling. Like, there's a tons of ways that you can do that. Get with a group of friends that's going that you can share room costs. You can share gas costs. Really, if you space it out between now and, say, you want to have all your plans pretty solidified by September, you have more than enough time to be able to afford this trip. I think actual dollar-wise I spent on, like, food and I'm going to say tacos because that's literally what I ate. I probably spent about maybe $200 total because we did have the taco trucks and stuff like that, but we also ate in the room. We went to the local CVS and we got cup of soup because I ain't too proud, granola bars and yogurt and things that we could eat inside the room, so that way we could just be a little bit more cost effective so that we could drink more, which is really why you want to budget, because you want to be able to drink. I also don't recommend drinking at the Hilton because that's where the party's at. We recommend you drink in your hotel room.
So you pregame?
Yeah, we pregame in the hotel room and we get pretty amped up, and then we go down there and we'll buy a drink at the bar to hold and sip and drink and do and all that good stuff.
Adult stuff.
Yeah, and you can find Gemma Banks will have his handy little situation that he keeps his oh yes. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that.
No, I don't care. It's fine.
I'm not too proud to say that we drink in the room because alcohol's expensive when you're going. You're not paying for the alcohol, you're paying for the ambiance, right? You're paying for the situation that you're surrounded by. So these are just ways that you can be cost effective. So if you
the dinner you guys hosted, I dropped a lot of money at the dinner that you guys hosted.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm sure.
You were hammered.
I'm sure.
The CVS is right down the road. I think that's where we bought most of our alcohol.
We did.
Was right
we just
down the
bought
road.
really big things of alcohol, and then we just round robined in the room, and then
Alcohol is cheap though.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't drink.
For sure.
Oh,
I'm sure we'll be
Amen.
able to get you to partake in some type of alcoholic
Nah.
beverage. Peer pressure is a bitch.
It doesn't work anymore. 10 years ago, maybe.
So just understand that if you're freaking out and you're one of those people that's like, I'm never going to be able to make it, just one thing at a time and just space it out. Airlines always have discounts. Like in last year, waited a good amount of time until he caught it at the right moment and got a superior deal. And also routing. If you can buy a ticket to somewhere where people are carpooling and then take the ride the rest of the way, if the ticket's cheaper, you just have to plan it out. I have 5 children and an enormous budget for groceries. So if I can make it, I know that some of us, we can really you just have to tighten the belt and know that you want to have that end game. To that end, with tickets, you got to be really diligent with your ticket buying because it is super difficult to get a ticket. I'm not going to lie to you. We have to all get on a giant Skype call, and we're literally all in this pot trying to get tickets to make sure as a group we get them.
Let me actually make a real quick comment on that as well. Last year we noticed a problem. People were buying tickets, taking the goodie bags, and then selling them for an absolutely outrageous amount. Don't do that. There are organizations and groups out there, Facebook groups that are selling tickets at face value. So maybe a friend doesn't get to go sometime later on during the year. You still need a ticket. Please check out these groups that are offering them for at face value, and they require that of their members. Save you from doing all that.
What is it? LFG BlizzCon? What's that website?
Yeah, I think that was the one last year.
It's the same website. There's a website that you can go and they run it, and they make sure that you kind of don't get screwed on the ticket purchasing. Make sure that if you do plan on attending, you go to the BlizzCon 2016 group. Just search BlizzCon 2016 and you should be able to get into that group. That'll give you all the information that you're looking for. I just wanted to make sure people knew that even though you think it's never a possibility, it always is a possibility. Bloke comes all the way from Australia, which is a huge expense for him because of the conversion rate. But you can make it happen if it's within your realm. I don't want you to sell your kids and your wives or husbands to get to BlizzCon, but if you budget accordingly, you should be able to attend. And if you don't get a ticket either of those days, you just need to be in these groups where it's honest, right? You want people that are don't ever do eBay. eBay is bad for business. So you never want to do eBay. They're also making it where July is the last date for you to be able to change the tickets, so you can do it after, but it requires the person that has the ticket to come to BlizzCon with you and do all that.
They might sell them on Amazon. I mean, I'm just saying, who knows?
Shameless plug. Yeah, so if you guys have the means and you want to be able to try to attend, it's not without question. So you just have to budget and make sure that you're there for the ticket sales. Also, to that end, if you don't want to physically go to BlizzCon, but you want to go and attend to do all the things, because the BlizzCon, it's 2 days in the convention center. The rest, like the whole week leading up to BlizzCon, is parties. The Curse Party, the Wowhead Party, Con Before the Storm, which is where we go and do our live show. Literally, there's so much to do outside of just the two. We were so busy that's why we call it DitchCon, because we were literally
everywhere else.
Yeah. Everywhere, like literally everywhere. So that's my little soapbox. I just wanted people to know that it is possible. You just have to prepare, and you just need to take the proper steps. If you guys have any questions, for those of you who've never been to a BlizzCon, or you need any help, you could just reach out to any one of us, and we'll point you to these groups in the direction that you're looking for if you need that. But be aware the ticket sales are, the first set is Wednesday, April 20th. You need to do a lot of refreshing. You need to make sure you have your account ready. You have all your information. If you can do a group Skype call or Zoom chat or whatever with people that are going, and you have somebody that has a little bit of extra fundage, you can always have somebody try to get 2 tickets so that one's covered and you can just PayPal them. That's the best way to go. That's how we did it last year. So with that being said, in that long thing regarding BlizzCon, it's my favorite time of year, the road to BlizzCon and the Arena Championships. This is literally my favorite time because now you get to see the best of the best. We literally, from the EU to North America, we get to see the best that the world has to offer when it comes to gaming for arenas for World of Warcraft. So for North America, they're going to be starting that situation here in the next, I would assume, week or so. The Hearthstone Championships, the Heroes of the Storm Championships, the I don't know.
That was on yesterday too.
StarCraft.
On ESPN.
Yeah, they have all the hate. We're going to talk about that later. All the ESPN hate. I mean, I followed some stuff because I was stalking Holinka on Twitter, and I saw the things they were talking about regarding people are so mean. But anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So yeah, the BlizzCon championships for the arena winners at BlizzCon, which it's so much better to watch that live in person. And it wasn't just because I was standing directly across from, the Rookster and Lore. It was literally because the feels of watching that live is amazing. Like, I was screaming. That's how emotional I was.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, no, I was literally, I was out of control. I was so
I didn't think
much
people
emotion.
got that into it, and I like, oh yeah, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the WoW players get into it. You ought to see the StarCraft
fans.
players.
Oh,
Everyone
StarCraft.
They had like a
insane.
stadium vibe where they were like
Yeah.
looking down on the players. That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, the StarCraft is pretty large.
I mean, they're giving away 20K. Sorry, go ahead. Like,
250K is the winner. The
out of them.
BlizzCon Arena Championship winners, 250,000.
Yeah, but they're giving
it's a
away
4-man
20K.
roster now. They allow you to have a 4-man roster, which they used to, and then they stopped it and dropped it down to 3. You can now have a 4-man roster for easier swapping out people and rotation, depending upon what's going on. So
they're giving away 20K for the Pet Battle Championship, so I'm in the qualifiers for that. I really hope I qualify this year. It's the first ever, so I've been training really hard.
Really
I'm
hard.
serious.
How hard?
Well, I mean, I'm a multi-gladiator on different seasons, but this is the first Pet Battle Championship, so I'm really excited. I hope you guys can support me too. I really need it.
We will.
I would appreciate it.
Bell,
I didn't
never ask a man how hard.
Well, I just wanted to know. I needed to understand how hard it was.
Whoa. Do it again.
We're training.
So, Legion class order hall campaigns. Here's to clear up any confusion on how they work. Go to your garrison, click on your missions. Boom. Class order hall. Done. There was this big, WoW had really, broke down all this stuff, and it made me laugh because it's your garrison campaign in your order hall. Now, this did spark a little bit on the forums. People were complaining and were like, I thought we were leaving this in Warlords of Draenor. Okay. Here's the thing about that. I enjoyed the missions because I made a ton of money. Literally, I made a ton of money doing the missions. It's easy. It's something it takes you 2 seconds to do. Well, they complained because garrisons, we didn't have any people. So they took elements that worked in Warlords of Draenor and moved it over to Legion. So now it's in your order hall where you do see other people, because that's what everybody bitched about, right? They didn't have a central location where they could see other players. They were lonely in their garrisons. Okay, well, they took that. People on the forums are so pissed off, and it makes... I was reading the forums earlier, and I don't really see any downsides to this outside of please no more left sharks, right? If you can...
Donovan.
If they can come up with a system that says this person's already gotten this 20 times, maybe we shouldn't give them this mission again, that would be great.
They did.
But I'm still getting
left sharks.
Yeah, I right-clicked it. I don't get it anymore.
You right-click it? Huh?
Yeah, it deactivates it, that mission.
Whoa.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I did it on all my tunes.
First of all, you need to stop showing off on your first show.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to not be better than us already on your
guys.
first episode. I had no idea.
Is this how you guys felt when you were impressed by me every time? Like,
Why do you
I
think
kind of
Class
get it
Order
now.
so pretty?
Yeah, that's why we had to duel together for our segments, because you were beating us in your segment, and we don't appreciate that. We had to two-team you. That's the only way we could get it done. Sometimes it requires 2 people, Jim. Just saying.
I finally know what it's like to be impressed with the new guy.
Yeah, that was impressive. I feel bad that we do this for a living and we didn't. I never really looked into it, though, but fuck.
I only play, 2 days a week, so it's fine.
Shut up, I hate you. So just
we almost got mad at him and was like, liar.
Are really garrison things that big of a deal?
I think people are afraid that they're going to be seeing...
I enjoy them just for gold. That's
I think people are... One of the comments was, table, why is this even on the table for discussion? Why is this even here? Leave this everywhere. Really, you shouldn't feel some type of way about some situations, because here's what you can do. I'm going to tell you how you can get over this if you're so upset that the missions are back in your order halls. Are you guys ready for this revelation? Don't fucking click it.
But here's
Boom.
the thing.
Problem solved.
I was going to say the same thing, but then they're going to make it a requirement to get your legendary ring, so it's like you have to. So it's like a double edge.
So you have to click it once or twice.
And you know what? And that is a good point, because I know on a Death Knight there is a certain mission with not the artifact weapons, but it's actually you have a person you can send out and do your missions for you. that you're going to want to do the damn or whatever mission report that you want to do, because it is very integral to the storyline. So with your class hall and your orders and your
you have to pick your location of exploration as well throughout your questing.
Right. And there are some really good rewards and some really good lore things that you're going to want to do, especially the DKs.
But after you're finished with that series of events, you don't it's not something you have to continue to cultivate if that's not your wish. That's the good thing about it, is you don't have to constantly go in and do it if you don't want to. I know that I did my followers correctly and re-rolled traits, and I make a lot of money. When I say a lot of money, I make more than I did just sitting in my garrison, right? Clicking a button, sending my followers out, I make more money than just sitting in my garrison, running around my...
Twiddling your thumbs.
Running around my fountain, because that's what I do when I'm in my garrison. I just run around my fountain. That's why I don't mind people aren't in my garrison, because then they're just going to be like, why is this bitch just running around her fountain for an hour? Because that's what I do. So
I mean, I make a good like 30K a week.
I'm saying, like, it's a good easy money, and it's not like you have to do it in the long haul. You might need to do it for bits and pieces here and there, but it's not that serious. But it's the same concept. You're not going to have as many followers in the sense of that's not their focus, right? So you're not going to have 30 followers for your missions. You're going to have a couple, and some of the quest lines for a couple of the order halls, you actually gained a follower during that quest line. Like, it came when you got your class hall, you got your first follower. So that's not going to be the focus, right? This is an accessory, and I want people to understand the difference. There's the difference between an accessory or an addition versus the focus. The missions are not going to be your focus in Legion. Your focus is on other things. This is just in addition to it. So you're going to get resources the same. You get them from the same places. You get them from the treasures. You get them from the rares. You get them from the dungeons, questing. You'll get them all the same ways, but it's not going to be as important to your survival as it is now, meaning you get your resources and all that. Like, it's not going to be that integral. It's just going to be something that's in addition.
And there is a blue post out there that actually just addressed it, I believe, today. So definitely check it out. If I find the link here in a second, I will. But definitely take a look at it. It really made a good point. They're not done with the shit. It's still in alpha. They still have beta to go through. Give it some time. And just, as somebody just told me, calm the fuck down.
It's gonna be all right. We're freaking out over things. We still have time, guys. Don't start trying to light people on fire just yet. I mean, I'm all for fire. The second someone pisses me off, I'm right there with the matches. So
yeah, it's like you're burning right
Someone's
now.
Someone's burning inside.
Oh my god, I hate you. I knew you were going to mention that.
You know, you're passionate about the game. What?
Don't worry, it'll go real fast.
She's always on the hot seat. Good job, Jim.
No, good job, you. That was zing.
You started it,
so joke, guys. So we're just gonna leave it right where it belongs, inside. Giggity.
Perfect segue for the Burning Legion expansion.
Well, before that, I do want to let you guys know that we are aware of the private server that's been shut down, which has sparked huge outcries in the community of these 10K, 20K plus people that have been on this vanilla private server that was finally officially able to be shut down by Blizzard. And we are going to be talking about that in depth, but it's not going to be this week. The reason being is next week we have a very special guest. Ya boy, Asmongold, is going to be here with us live, talking about that topic, the Stop the Prune, the state of Legion. I mean, we are really going to be able to pick his brain. If you guys don't know who he is, I'm going to need you to get the internets. But
Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia. He's going to be here. He's going to be here with us live next week, so you guys definitely don't want to miss that, because we're going to do a special Q&A for people to be able to ask him questions that he can address.
Does he actually have a Wikipedia page?
I don't know. Sounds good.
Jim's like, I'm following him right now.
Moving on. Sorry.
So I wanted to talk, let me do some timekeeping here. I wanted to talk a little bit about the latest alpha build and the things that it brought. So they did a lot of changing to the latest alpha build, which I think I need to pull it up real quick, but I want to talk about the reason why that's important. So in this World of Warcraft thing that we've got going on, there's a lot of the Stop the Prune stuff. People are upset and they're irritated about that because the abilities are being pruned. I didn't really see the reasoning behind being so upset until I actually we talked about it. I watched Asmongold's video, and then him and I had a very lengthy conversation about the state of Legion and what it needs to have in order to keep people, which I'm going to let him talk about that. But some of the points that he made were pretty valid as far as the changes. So we don't really know how PvP looks yet because there's not enough population for PvP to be important, right? We don't really know how to test it. Destro's still not available. Can I please get some Destro action?
Nah.
We don't really know what this, right? We don't really know what this looks like in large part, except we know that iconic spells were removed from classes, right? Some major iconic spells were removed, which is ultimately people are like, hey, this is what defined me as a character. So in this movement, I noticed that the movement has kind of slowed down or stopped, and it makes me wonder if Blizzard was like, hi, we support you, so if you could stop bashing us publicly, that'd be great. But I feel like raiding, I watched Fat Boss run that raid, the latest raid that was released. Looked fairly difficult, which is what I want to see. I want to see what if the Realm First people, these guys that get alpha access and they already know what they're doing by the time the race happens, right? They're so good by the time the race happens that they already know what they're doing. So is it really a race because everybody's had months to practice in alpha and beta, right? Is it really a race at this point if they already know what they're doing?
Well, the achievement's gone now, so I mean...
But they still want that accolade, right? They still want that we did it first. So what happens is Blizzard gives these guys alpha access. They give them beta and they're in there and they're testing and practicing. What if they didn't? What if we lived in a world where Blizzard didn't give these guys beta access so that they could practice the stuff in advance, and it really was you had to do it normal? What if we lived in that world? Asmongold had said something that made a lot of sense to me. We give too much access. WOD beta, they were giving it 500 keys away, 600 keys away each contest, and that shit was going on. All the streamers, Wowhead, all these places were giving away all these keys. It lost its hype. They killed themselves because they lost the hype. People had already been able to play it themselves because by the time they were ready to go live, 90% of the world had beta. They already knew. Well, the active community that was seeking out the beta, they were doing all these contests, right? They were actively trying to get these beta keys. They're so worried about people selling their product that they don't realize people are going to buy it. You just have to scale it down, and maybe we didn't give all these top raiders access to it because in Blizzard's mind, they want them to hype it up, right? They want them to sell their product, which is essentially what they're doing. But what if we made it where it was really difficult for them? What if we made it where it was really hard?
And people were complaining that lack of content, especially on the raiding aspect. And I understand because let me tell you, as soon as I go in a raid, and Essay here will tell you to do the same thing. Go watch the videos. I told you I was calling you Essay during the show, but go watch the videos. But why not leave? If you're going to go ahead and give these out, and you're going to want to do raid testing. I understand that you're going to want to do stress testing on it, make sure it's working, everything's fine. But why not make them sign an NDA before doing so?
Why not give it to only certain people, certain members of the raid team? That way you can't have an entire raid team go in there. Like, give it to
maybe the raid
guild,
lead or something, right?
Guild. Yeah, give it to make an entire guilds have to unite to try to do this instead of an entire group of 20 go in there and just knock it out. Yeah.
I want to see. So I want to, and I know why they do it, and I get it. I totally understand why this is. I understand why Blizzard does it because these are the guys that. They're selling their stuff and they're hyping it up and they're amping it up and they're streaming it, which is what Blizzard wants. And I get it from a business standpoint. I'm behind you. I'm streaming Legion for you, Blizzard. I'm in your court. I'm here because I also want to showcase how awesome WoW is, and I want other people to equally love how awesome WoW is, and I'm going to showcase that. But I really do feel like the love is gone in that aspect, and I wish somebody at Blizzard would say maybe we shouldn't give this to everybody. Now, on the other hand, I want alpha. I got alpha. But there was a purpose I wanted it. I didn't want it because I want to practice raiding. I wanted it so I could showcase to other people the important things that are going to be there to continue to keep people hopeful, right? Hopeful, I guess, would be the right word. So with that, they made a lot of changes, especially to the dot hybrid classes. Like I don't play dot classes very often to know really the significance of the change. I know. So this next 2 weeks, I'm going to be going and playing all the classes in the specs so that I can really get a feel for the changes and for what the new play style looks like, so that I can each week can bring you another class and we can focus on all those specs, and I can just kind of tell you where it's going, kind of how it feels from our perspective. Keep in mind though, it's alpha, guys.
Right. They're going to change. They're going to keep changing stuff. So
what we're looking at now is not going to be what we're looking at when the final product happens. The community has a large voice, and if people bring solid researched information to the table, Blizzard's not going to ignore it, even though everybody thinks that they do. I think it's just Blizzard picks and chooses their battles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way that I feel about it. But I did have a chance to go in and complete. I think I just have to do the priest and the rogue order hall recordings for the lore stuff. But man, it's looking good. The new zone Azuna. I'm actually going to be recording some information about that and see if we can get some lore information maybe, or...
I think you did a really good job. Yeah, I've been working on my lore actually, just I can't remember or read that well. So,
right.
But you've been uploading a lot of good videos on the YouTube channel though. There's quite a few. I see you uploaded the monk. I can't wait to go check that out.
I did do the monk. We've been taking snippets of Lycan's lore and putting it to the background of the video, so I think that's been really, really nice. So we're going to be diving into pretty deep about Legion here in the next month or two of the episodes. I'm going to take advantage of having Legion and the reasons I have it. We're going to be talking about breaking down the artifacts and what they're actually going to do for you per spec. I mean, we're going to get really, really in detail to give you guys an idea of what it looks like, so that you know if your faith is not lost. You know, faith in Blizzard. I know it's hard to have faith, guys, but really, what else are we doing? You guys got a fucking date? I mean, I don't got a fucking date, so I guess we're all in this together and doing the cha-chas. Okay. So, let me just look at chat. You guys are all insane. I love how active chat is right now. I'm sure 90% of you are making fun of me, but that's okay. I don't even mind. So, here's what we do have.
What do we have?
Well, we have the Shaman Order Hall.
Ooh.
And the Shaman Order Hall is in the Maelstrom. Maelstrom, but it's Strum. I know.
Yeah.
Remedies always corrects me. The Shaman Order Hall is in the Maelstrom. And I want to
nice
tell
Strum,
you,
where are you from?
I want to tell you, this hall is so pretty visually. Like you're in the middle of the Maelstrom, and water's crashing up against the rocks, which you guys are going to see, because I kept like grabbing that footage of it crashing against the rocks. There's also a little mini game, which you guys are going to see towards the end of the video when it's talking about the lore. I tried to do the mini game. I couldn't get it. The second I hit the stop record button, I fucking got it. And I was like, man, I didn't even get that on recording. There's the Shaman mini game with the totems. It's a totem board, and you have to swap all the totems around until they're water. It's between water and fire. And all the totems have to be water in order for you to clear that little level, and then you move up a level and you get to... It's you guys will see as we're going through it, and I want to make sure that I do have the Shaman Hall. So I'm going to let Lycan go ahead and get into some lore right now while you guys have this beautiful video walkthrough.
Okay. Well, whether you're being burned by fire, doused by water, or face smashed by spirit animals and elementals, the Shaman is a force to be reckoned with. The Shamans originally were a Horde class only. Only orcs, Taurns, and trolls were actually able to be shamans when Warcraft first dropped in vanilla. The orcs trained the Taurn and the trolls in the ways of the elements, even though the trolls had already had that connection with the elemental plane already, but they brought their knowledge over from Draenor. Now, while on Draenor, however, they worked hand in hand with the Draenei at first. When the Draenei had landed on Azeroth, they brought the power of the elements to the Alliance, and giving that balance between the two factions. Along with the Blood Elves being able, because they extracted the power from the light from the Naru that they had, to become paladins. Now, the Shamans have always been revered as visionaries in their respected races. They're able to commune with the dead and the elements in an attempt to achieve a balance. Their relationship with the elements helped them in battle and also at peacetime. Shamans do not force the elements to do their will, but ask for their guidance and their power to overwhelm their enemies. During the time of the corruption of the orcs, that connection with the elements was all but lost. Ner'zhul and Gul'dan, as a matter of fact, were both shamans, and very powerful ones at that as well. Unfortunately, Kil'jaeden had took on the form of the orcs' ancestors and convinced them that the Draenei were their enemies. As the slaughter of the Draenei continued through Draenor, the spirits and the elements turned their backs on the orcs and left them without that connection. Until Thrall. As the orcs had lost their powers, they had managed to turn to the Fel magic and become warlocks. Many did try to return to shamanism, but the elements actually ignored their pleas. One orc child, though, would change all of that. A lone Frostwolf clan child was left freezing in the snow after his family was murdered. He would be taken captive by humans and forced to fight in a gladiator-style arena. A formidable foe without a name or history became the most powerful shaman to date, and his name was Goel. And now, the humans had named him Thrall, which actually means slave in English. And he was able to overcome his captors and free his fellow orcs. He took on the mantle of war chief of the new horde, and basically the rest is history. Thrall's wisdom and knowledge, though, was the reason the elements began speaking to him. Now able to commune with the spirits, shamanism was back and was better than before as well. Shamans can be two of the three roles within the Warcraft universe. As a healer, they use the elements to cleanse the corruption and injuries from their targets. They may also be a ranged and melee damage dealer. Using the forces of the elements in their ultimate fury, elemental shamans can rain down destruction and basically shake the earth underneath their targets. As a melee, they call upon the spirits to fight by their sides. At one time, shamans were actually thought to be a tanking class. With enchantment like Rockbiter and some of the old talent choices, it was almost actually a valid choice. They were able to tank instances up to level 60, but once you hit the level 60 mark and going into BC, it became unfeasible. Unfortunately, with the lack of hard armor choices, though, this really just faded into oblivion, and I don't even think you can do the Rockbiter enchantment anymore. Shamans are getting some very powerful weapons in Legion with their respected classes. Resto Shamans will be getting the Scepter of Ashara, which is Queen Ashara herself created this weapon long before her corruption and the transformation to the Naga Queen that we know her as. It is filled with the actual waters from the Well of Eternity itself, and is rumored to be one of the most powerful staffs out there. Elemental Shamans will get the Fist of Ra-Den. Ra-Den is a newer character that was he's been around for quite some time, but was recently reintroduced with Mists of Pandaria. Aman'Thul, which is the leader of the Titan Pantheon, gave this weapon to his greatest servant, Ra. Ra actually used it to give life to the Mogu. He also used this weapon to fight the Black Empire. Now, if you're not sure who the Black Empire is, they were one of the first civilizations on Azeroth. They were ruled by the old gods themselves. Though they were defeated, remnants may still be seen actually on Azeroth. If you remember in Northrend, there was a group called the Faceless Ones that we saw throughout many of the instances and right beneath the Frozen Throne itself. And then there's the insect races of the Akir. Now you can think of Silithus and Encourage raids for that as well, and you'll understand who they are. And they are still the last remnants, and we can still go into those two raids and see their empires down there. Last, but certainly not least, is the Enhancement Shaman weapon, Doomhammer. Now I could spend an hour alone describing this weapon. Doomhammer was forged in pools of lava. It was entrusted to Telkar Doomhammer, which was the father of Orgrim. Now, Orgrim is the namesake of, obviously, the place Orgrimmar. Orgrim loved the weapon and admired it from a very young age. Knowing that one day it will be his. In a meeting between Orgrim, Dorotan, and Velen, yes, that Velen. Remember, like I said, the Draenei and the Orcs were close at one point. They shared a lot of their technology, and that's how the Shamans were able to become, the Draenei were able to become Shamans. Orgrim told a prophecy about this weapon, and he said, the last of the Doomhammer line will use it to bring first salvation, and then doom to the Orc people. Then it will pass into the hands of one who is not of the Blackrock clan. All will change again, and it will once again be used in the cause of justice. So, it was given to Orgrim, and then it was passed along to Thrall at Orgrim's death. Thrall wielded this powerful weapon for many years, using it to do battle and also to rule the Horde itself as war chief. Thrall was able to become one of the most powerful shaman and ascend to the aspect of Earth as well. He was able to calm the elements during and after the Cataclysm, but he had lost that connection to the elements. During the battle between Garrosh and the Grand, and this is in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, he and Thrall battled in a mock Gura to take back the leadership of the Horde. Now, what a mock Gura is, basically, you are doing a one-on-one battle to the death. And now Thrall had changed that to make sure that if it was going to be, it could have been non-lethal, but it was a battle to the death, and it was hand-to-hand combat. You were allowed one enhancement and one weapon. During this battle, though, Thrall forced the elements to kill Garrosh. If you remember, they binded up him with that hand that came up out of the ground. The lightning came down, struck him, and killed him. Thrall has been unable to wield this Doomhammer ever since. The elements themselves have actually gone silent to him in opposition to the Makara and the murder it's called what it is, the murder of Garrosh. So those are the weapons that we're getting coming into the Legion. Two of them are not quite as well known, but come from very powerful people and that we've seen in the lore. One of them is Doomhammer, and now we understand why we're getting Doomhammer, because Thrall willingly is not just going to say, here, you can have it. So, in conclusion, are you going to be able to pick up Doomhammer and have the elements flow through you? Will you be able to wield the power of the Titans as Ra-Den had? Or will you choose to cleanse Azeroth with the power of the Well of Eternity? And I found this little quip at the end. It was from Warcraft 3, and it says, rise, shamans, and follow in battle, yelling, storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
That was fabulous. We still have a little bit more on the video, so I figure we could talk about a little bit of how we feel. I know Bloke felt like I think it could have been, a little bit better. Now, okay, here's the part, guys. This is the part with the flipping of the totems, and you have to be real strategic. I didn't figure out the way that the totems flipped until towards the end when I was like, oh, now that makes a lot of sense. But as you see, there's a lot of back and forth. This is just a little mini game that was added, so it was pretty fun.
Looks like a Minesweeper.
Yeah, it was pretty fun just to have something to do while you sit in there. There's several levels. Literally, when I hit the stop button, I beat it, and I was on Zoom and I was very mad because it's like I didn't even get to catch that, and I tried to replicate it, but I was already on the second level, and the second level's harder than the first. So I thought this was something neat. I didn't notice if there was any other. I don't think there's any other mini games in the hauls I've done so far that I didn't notice, unless they were just there using the Shaman as a test one to see how people liked it. If you're already standing in your hall and you're bored, or you're waiting for a queue, I think when they said mini games, we all thought like Farmville or some other stuff that was happening. But it was really, really nice. And as you see, at this point, I'm really frustrated because I now have one line of these fire totems, and I'm pissed off because I don't understand what I'm doing. And then I realized that I needed to start in one corner and I needed to push all the way out, which is basically that's what's happening during this very long video. So yeah, I do want Panda Pop in my order haul already. So now you guys got to see. I don't think there was anything much after that, so I think we can go ahead and get back on track. But now you guys got to see what it looks like, and we had some awesome lore. I knew the Shaman lore was going to be really good just because Thrall. I mean, didn't somebody? I thought I remember somebody saying that Thrall cheated, right?
He did.
He did. He cheated.
You're not supposed to be using the elements themselves, especially in the way that he did. When he basically called up the earth and said, the earth, I mean, when he does it with the elements, they basically plead to the elements that, hey, can you help me? He forced the elements to grab Garrosh, and then he forced the elements to strike him dead. And ever since then, it's, for somebody that just had so much pent-up anger and was so mad that this was the guy that he was bringing up to be his protege, to turn like this, and I think he was just so pissed, but he's no longer able to wield those elements. Like, they're not even talking to him. They've turned their back to him completely. So the weapon that he has is just completely useless. I mean, it's a big paperweight in his hands.
Yeah.
When I watched that cinematic, I have to tell you that I did feel Garrosh's pain, and I do feel what that did to him. And although I don't agree with the rampage that he was putting through Pandaria, because the pandas didn't do anything to him. That was rude. He destroyed literally their water. I mean, he destroyed things. But you could tell the cinematic makers did a really, really good job of invoking that emotion. Even the voice actors of invoking that. You felt the reasoning, right? It's like when you watch like Law and Order and the guy goes and kills somebody that hurt his kid, and you don't want to arrest him because you understand, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong at the end of the day. But I did feel bad for Garrosh because he was frustrated with Thrall and felt like Thrall abandoned him. So, and
if you go through and at least just read the wiki page of everything about Garrosh from the time that we met him in Burning Crusade, he was this little quibbling little bitch that had daddy issues because his daddy had ruined the Horde.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we watch his transition from there to where he goes to Northrend and leads up the expedition there, and where he really I think Drekthar explains it to him and says, look, your father did this, but if it wasn't for your father, we would not have this redemption. And he goes and starts to appreciate where his father came from. And as you go through Cataclysm and through all this, you see a transition from him going from this, like I said, this little bitch to this great warrior that really had the best idea for the orcs in mind, but not the rest of the Horde. And then the madness set in because absolute power corrupts absolutely, and you could see the madness that he falls through. And then at the end, whether you liked him or not, his beliefs were there. He wanted to, he thought what he was doing was right. I mean, hell, Hitler thought what he was doing was right, but you could see that transition that goes through him, and he's very Hitler-esque. I mean, with the forced rape and the murders and the massacre.
Ren is very Hitler. Let's be honest here.
He is.
I'm Alliance, but I can be real and say that he wants to wipe everything that's not human and not his what he considers, the blonde, blue-eyed. He's trying to kill all the things.
Yeah, and you could see the transition, and you could see, like you said, that look in his eyes when he said, that he's sitting there going, what I did was for the Horde and only for the Horde. And you can see that, it brings up a lot of political issues that Warcraft had brought into the game that you can battle with.
I'm still bitter because we fought Garrosh and Thrall just stands there watching, right? And SecretSauce knows, because this is where we fell in love as friends, was we bonded over Siege of Orgrimmar. And how much did we run that?
I don't know. I ran it like 12 times a day. Oh, it's terrible.
It was to the point where, it was just, we lived there, and I just lived off pizza and Rockstar. We just were in there every day, just...
Your weapon. Oh.
Madness. I remember we had a thing going to get Belle her BOA because all the groups were fails, and Riders wasn't raiding at that time. So
I was single tank that entire thing. That 25-man.
It was stock. No, it was the T-Rex, dude.
Remember that one?
Yeah, that's
when I had just died. You single tanked for like a good 2 minutes, and then you got a res off, and you resed me. Yeah, it was gnarly. I will say it was fun to watch that.
I was so happy when the end of the expansion. I was like, I'm never setting foot in this fucking place again, literally ever. And then now we've been trying to do the achievements for the guild, but I hate every vision. And somebody says Siege of Orgrimmar, I can't. So much even. I can't.
I've not been in there since Warlords.
The amount of people that couldn't handle doing the towers. What's that boss?
Oh, yeah, that was fun too.
Galacras.
I mean, how hard is it? Go to the tower. However, I'm not going to talk shit because I could never do anything important in raid. If I had to have a role, I couldn't do it, right? When you had to do the bomb and for Garrosh, you had to go and deal with the engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you give me a role, I can't do it. I can now.
That was a tough role.
It was
a
hard.
very tough role.
It was hard to remember because I would be so... Secret would have
you
to
just
be like, stop tunnel
send a
visioning.
hunter.
You're chasing the numbers. You're not focusing on the mechanics.
So funny. Well,
I have a chaos bolt. I want to use it. Sam, you need to move. No.
Don't use my
I need to
slave
cast
name.
this.
Now people know my real name.
You use your slave
That's
name.
okay. We all use it at some point.
Yeah.
Jim
I know
knows
it's Bell.
So.
This is Derek, by the way, if anybody
Yeah,
doesn't
his
know.
other name outside of Secret Sauce is Derek, because
It's
Jim
Derek today.
said,
You better name a pet after me.
he said, when's Derek going to be on the show? I said, who the fuck is Derek?
It's that new guy.
Oh, it
My
was
alter
so...
ego.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
I
that
know,
night,
it just
okay?
was really, because I was like, who is Derek? His name is not even Derek.
Chat room can feel free. If you want to call Secret Sauce anything, you can call him Essay.
Essay,
Yeah.
that's very racist, not racism. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's cool. We all know you're educated.
I know. Jim has quite the pet battle segment, right?
I'll mute
No.
and not interrupt.
I decided to take the week off, actually.
I don't believe that. For
Did you have a section, David?
David's
No,
gonna.
I'm
We're
just-
gonna cultivate his. He's got to find his.
Secret Sauce.
He's got to find his.
I heard he's
his
quite
fun.
the raider, actually, leading raids.
Well, we're going to
but-
talk about. He's going to have his own segment here when we get into the week in WoW. We're going to talk about who he is, where he came from, who is your daddy, what does he do. And
That was on today, by the way. It was on TV, I saw
But
it.
now that's really awkward. Like, so what do you have for today's National Pet Love Your Pet Day, right?
Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa. Do I have a segment or what? Like, come on, back
She's
off.
trying to take it.
Did I
Yeah, time
hijack?
out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can
I'm
you
sorry.
mute your mic? It's okay. Just I need you muted right now.
Yeah, I
First,
don't want to rub up against it while you're talking.
No joke, eh? So another pet battle bonus event has come and gone. You know, every pet battle bonus event to me is special in its own little way, right? But I went ham this one. We did actually level up pets. You know, I'm going to admit, sometimes I'm too lazy. I don't want to spend even that hour a day getting the triple the XP, right? But I did this week. You know, I leveled up a lot of pets. And one of the favorite things for me during the pet battle bonus event is the quest, the very best quest. You have to win 5 PvP pet battles. Of course, for me, that's very easy, right? So I have to find a way to challenge myself. So I always record all of the games. I pick a team, and then I ask my viewers, you know, make some suggestions. I got a lot of suggestions last video, and I couldn't pick and choose. So me being the brilliant guy that I am, I decided I'll get a win with every suggested team. So I did that, and it was a lot of fun. The content came out pure and uncut. So thanks for all the suggestions, guys. And then, of course, you know, the big part of my segment has been ruined. Thanks, Belle. You wrecked the first ever National Pet Day for me.
Won't be the last time, I promise.
Yeah,
So
actually,
we're clear,
to be
I'm
honest, since Belle's upgraded my Twitter knowledge, I did see that on Twitter. Warcraft posted it. I had no idea it was a thing. So all of a sudden in my Twitter feed, it said National Pet Day. So I wanted to ask the rest of the cast, I was just curious, do you guys have an individual pet that you actually have as your favorite, or do you care? I don't know. You guys have one? Favorite pet in game?
I'll go. I
What's
love the
this?
onboard Valkyrie. Just I love it flying behind the DK thing, especially when I'm running around on Invincible, right? Huge boat. So it actually looks nice, and then it's actually in my opinion, one of the most powerful pets to combo with some of the other ones, just because of the debuff with the extra damage that you can take. I learned a real quick lesson: don't do it on the No Time to Heal achievement because it doesn't work. It has been resetting mine every time I use it because it considers it dead. But it's really probably, in my opinion, one of, if not the most powerful pet. My opinion.
It is. That's a good suggestion.
I like the mini Voidwalker because I named my little Voidwalker Mini-Me Kilton because my Voidwalker's name is Kilton. So that's my... I am really
That's pretty
irritated
cool.
by the pink thing, though, that's on his shoulder because it makes him look a little bit like hot, actually. But I don't
Ow.
really...
Wow.
Good burn.
Shots fired.
So that part does bother me, but yeah, that's my favorite.
I mean, for me, it was my mini Thor. You know, costed an arm and a leg for, even though I don't play StarCraft 2 anymore. While I fly around on my big pink love rocket that only 1% of the population has. I'm just saying.
Right here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Actually, I got called out about that stupid mount earlier, but it's funny. Whatever. But yeah, the animations for Mini Thor are really cool. Flies around, shoots missiles. I got what I paid for. Let's put it that way.
Very cool pet.
Is that the only time you actually get to have something that big between your legs?
On Tuesdays. On Tuesdays.
Actually, the funny thing about that mount is I have the Headless Horseman mount, but for some reason I'd rather have the pink Love Rocket than the Headless Horseman mount. I don't know if that makes... Is that... Am I the new Cody? I don't know. But all great suggestions for pets. Very cool. I did just add Mini Thor to my collection as well, so Another week down, another segment ruined by Belle. Thank you very much.
It won't be the last one, I promise you. I also got to tell you,
mine.
Hots has been skulking about back and forth from the room to, I don't know where he keeps going, but he's been stalking and skulking about.
I can just see him like looking over the corner and be like, wait, what's going on?
He came in here and sat down right before I called everybody for the pre-show, and when I called everybody, he put his head down and just walked away, and I was like, oh, you miss us already.
Guy. Oh,
used to love it.
I almost said, what?
Isn't he playing Overwatch right now?
Probably.
He should be. I was going to say we should bring him back, but now that I'm the youngest, freshest voice on the show, I don't think...
you're freshest, huh? Most F?
That's right. Yeah. Everybody's going to be moving
for
up.
Stocks, that's freaking awesome.
I'm making my announcement now. I'm going pro, and I will probably be leaving the show. I'm going to become a pro lore master. And it takes a lot of training, a lot of practice.
Yeah, you're so
meet
right.
the red shirt guy, Grand Negus. You know, they're going to be my alts, but I'm going to be leading
team, right? You guys are going to threes it up.
Right.
There you go.
I think that's a good plan.
I also want to tell you guys before we get into the week in WoW that next week we were supposed to have our 2-year anniversary where there's going to be all the things and celebrations and a look back at where we came from, the founders and all that and stuff. But with Asmongold being on, we're going to actually change that, and we're going to do the 2-year anniversary episode after that. I want to make sure Asmongold gets all the FaceTime with you guys. So we are moving that back. I just wanted to let everybody know. So before we get into the week in WoW, let's talk about Secret, which I don't know who that was in chat. They said Saucy's cuter than expected.
Thanks.
Candy Lane. I just want you guys to know.
I didn't even trim today.
Well, when we talk about replacements and when we talk about people to possibly come on and be with us, visuals are always important to me because I'm shallow, right? So you guys should know that I don't typically surround myself with ugly men. Hots was an exception, and I didn't really have a choice there, but I typically don't surround myself with ugly men. So there is that. Both my dogs just ran in here. It's about to be Animal Kingdom up in here. So he is quite the handsome. He's quite the handsome man. So I want to tell you guys, he was my brother Dominic's friend, and I basically stole him because that's what I do. I steal your candy. So I stole him. He became my friend.
Sweet Factory.
He raid leads for me in the Riders out of the kindness of his heart because he has his own guild on Skull Crusher, which is Forgotten Prophets. Shout out, they're a great guild. The guildies are awesome, but he raid leads and he shows up to raid every week and he doesn't bitch and he doesn't complain and he deals with my raid team.
Unless I'm at the movies eating pizza.
Or, yeah, he completely blows it off and I'm really, really mad. But he does that out of the kindness of his heart. He's been a great thing for the guild and he's always been a friend of ours, so it just seemed like a natural thing to kind of have him. I'd always wanted him to be on to talk about the rating. He is going to be having his own segment. It is going to be a rating segment to kind of help bridge the hardcore and the casual world with some good word, especially going into Legion. So I wanted to take this time to give us your background. How did you start in WoW? What brought you to this world?
So full honesty, I was totally against World of Warcraft. I used to manage GameStop. I used to make other associates sell this game. I had an associate say, hey, just play the game. Just try it. So I did. Started out on, oh man, what server was it? It was a really bad server.
If you say any kind of RP server.
No. It was a PvP server.
Moonguard?
No, I don't even know now. It was, all I know is everyone said to go on this server. We'll be there. I played for 2 hours. There's no one there. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're all on Skull Crusher. I was like, oh, okay, well, fine, let's go. Next day, I'm online for like 12 hours. Can't say I didn't mind. It was fun. Especially when you're playing with people. That's the best part about this game. You know, you get to interact with the community, your friends, etc., etc. Started off as a gnome warrior. I wanted to be a tank. I want to be super cool. Like, you have so much responsibility. And I started playing WoW in Burning Crusade. So I was probably in the middle of it already. Black Temple hadn't came out yet, so that's when I picked up the game. My guild, Forgotten Prophets, again, we had like 7 tanks. There was no point for me to play the game. So then they're like, hey, we need a holy priest. Let's do it. My buddy, a really good friend of mine, he had the sauce in his name, and I said, hey, I'm going to steal this. And came up with SecretSauce. Magically, that name wasn't taken. So I ran with it. SecretSauce is kind of my main still. My main has turned into our tank for riders, Saucedin. That's who I raid lead with. That's who I tank with Tiergan with. Shout out to Tiergan for always being there.
Daddy in the raid.
Yeah, that's the dad. But yeah, SecretSauce has been the Holy Priest since Burning Crusade. Has never switched. Everyone said, why don't you try Disc? I don't know. Too lazy. I don't want to learn it. That's why we have all these other people that love Disc, and I'll let them stay Disc, and I'll stay Holy.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't like
everyone enjoys playing Disc.
Isn't 20% of the guild Disc priests?
I think so.
Yeah,
Let's all be priests. We had an episode where we were all druids because druids got all the fun things.
Yeah.
So I want to highlight the fact that just so that you guys that are watching live, or if you're catching this on iTunes or YouTube later, that he raid leads for me for Riders of Rohan, and well, they're on a break right now, but he's full-time. His guild on Forgotten Prophets is Mythic Raiders. He does this of his own free will, out of the kindness of his heart, because he loves me and my guild. That, to me, is a fucking MVP. Like, literally, and we're at the end of an expansion when nobody gives a shit about raiding, and he still does it, and he doesn't have to. There's no ties that he has to the guild outside of, I would probably set him on fire if he didn't raid lead, but he does it, and it's good because he teaches my raiders, especially my brand new guys that come in that don't really know what they're doing, and he works with them and he teaches them, and we cultivate the raid knowledge and we help make them better. And he's so good at it that he's honestly the reason I'm a raider. Literally, I hate raiding, but he forced me to step outside of that box where I just didn't really give a shit, and made me be a better raider. So I'm thinking it's going to be a really, really good asset for the listeners and watchers moving into Legion with all the raid stuff, and to be able to have his knowledge is going to be pretty legit. Callie, I love you. Callie just joined our guild. He's been creeper stalking us for quite a long time, and he's always the first person that pops in stream, and I always know he's in there, but he did just recently join the guild. We were pretty excited to have him in there. But
seems like David and I have a lot in common,
almost. You guys share your love of snapbacks.
I was just going to say. We like snapbacks, sports. We both made fun of WoW before we played, and we both do charity work by hanging out with a lot of your guild members. I think it's just like...
Wow, guys, any of you in chat that are guildies, you can feel free to just tell them to fuck right off. Really, first you hate Americans, Jim. Let me get this straight, okay?
Never said that. You can rewind the episode.
What did you say? You wanted an all-Canadian team or an all-not-American
team? An international 3v3 team, and I do not hate Americans. You can go back and check the footage. I didn't say one bad thing about America.
Secret doesn't want to be in your mix because you're bad for business right now.
He's
trying to establish who he is here on the show, and rolling with you is going to get him fucked up. Like, it's just so
I can switch hats too. I could put a red hat on. We both have white tees on underneath.
Yin and yang, yeah.
Twins, twinning.
I have like 40 hats.
How long have you been playing WoW?
Me too, actually.
Since what, 2006? So had a little, took a little break at a time. I took a break all of Kata. I was kind of burnt out. Real life kicked in, so put a WoW away for a little bit. Picked it back up in Siege, and Belle, as Belle said, I ran into her brother in a pure random dungeon. It was all gnomes.
Won't you birth? Whoa.
Birth. Wow.
Whoa. We don't need none of that right now. Weren't you both gnomes?
Everyone in that group was a gnome except the healer, which was a Worgen priest. And then we took a picture and we started talking after that. And some other guy was he was interesting. He added us on BattleTag, and I was like, nah, Dominic seems cooler. So then that's how I became to know your brother, and we raided like every day.
We were on Skype every day. We were like always, literally every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I tanked with your brother, DPS with your brother. I tanked with Nate, DPS with Nate. I've healed Nate.
Who's Nate?
Don't use my slave.
Your slave.
You're gonna get used to this. Don't worry.
No, I'm not. I don't get used to it at work either. So, but yes, Lycan, excuse me. But yeah, I've always enjoyed playing the game. I enjoyed it more during Siege, even with all the fuckery that went on in that place. But at the end of the day, It's to have fun, to make friends.
Mind controls. Hello, mind controls.
Oh my god! Stack up, kill the targets.
Big Dom's going, I'll bring his other tank in. He's really good. I met him in a dungeon. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's been all downhill ever since.
It really has been all downhill ever since. But you know what's funny is I got very spoiled. And when we first started raiding in Riders, I was like, I'm not raiding if Dave is not tanking. I mean, sorry, your slave name. I'm not raiding, period. Like, I had that much where things went smoother when he was tanking than not. So I was like, I don't really want to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good when I was tanking. It was good when I was healing. It was good when, Archmount wouldn't die because mechanics weren't being done, so certain people had to get kicked from the group. Bell. And then we one-shot the boss. So
I'm not going to lie. I was like, bye, Felicia. You ain't got to tell me motherfucking twice. I could be eating popcorn and PvPing. I don't need to be in this bullshit. I hate raiding. So I'm going to raid Legion, and I really want to do Mythics with the guild, so...
Yeah.
It's a day I thought you rage quit and I was pissed off at you for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I just literally, it seemed like every time I was in the Archmon run, we didn't down him, and the second I would leave, we would get him down. So I was just like, forget about it.
Yeah.
Soil's the better raid warlock anyway. And notice I said raid warlock. I'm not talking about PvP here, guys, so let's not get crazy. He's the better raid warlock for sure.
Yeah, I mean the green fell. It didn't give you a speed boost at all.
No, and I just don't give two shits. Like, I literally don't care about raiding. I would raid with the guild because my presence was requested, and because you take over, I don't have to do shit. I could just let you do all the things, and I cannot be there. So I am gonna start getting some gears though, because I do want to do Mythics with you guys. But
yeah, I mean, we've grown a lot as a raiding guild. I've seen our presence on, go up on our realm list, for raiding, and that's a huge positive, especially for a lot of people that are coming to Argent Dawn to become a rider. So that's what a lot of people are looking for. They want to raid. But at the same time, there are those people that just kind of want a free ride, and I don't mind free riding in alts because you've put in all those hours on your main, and that's understandable, but I don't want to bring a fresh new person that boosted, to 100 and be like, I'm ready to raid. Let's do this. I want you to carry my main now. Excuse me. Depending on how flexible you are, I mean, it's understandable, but I still expect like any other raid league, like attendance, mechanics, DPS, heals per second. I mean, all that stuff is required, and a lot of people don't want to do it. I mean, especially the biggest concern this expansion was the legendary ring. I mean, I have a million alts, and they all have it, but other people have mains that don't have it, and I just don't get it. And then they want to, say negative comments and...
Don't come in with a diaper trying to use the big boy toilet. I'm going to need you to have ruse on, okay?
Yeah.
It's not being rude either. I mean, we work with you, and we work with everyone, but we have a rule about bringing alts into the guild runs. If you're using an alt that's on a different server and you want to come into the guild run, it's fine if you've already geared a main and you've been working with us and you've been doing, I'll make exceptions and allow an alt to come in that's not in the guild. The problem with that in the past is we've allowed it instantaneously. Like, we just right off the bat let them bring their alts that were not in riders. There was no reason for having them in there because I didn't force their hand. So we were gearing them and they were just never logging in again, right? Or they would move their tunes, or they would unfriend on BattleTag, like whatever the case may be. We were freely gearing people that were not giving back. So that's, I mean, we've got rules and we've locked down things essentially for that purpose. So if you're looking for a raid team, he's looking for good people, but we want people that want to put in as much as we all do and want to get the benefits and, all the...
Yeah, I just want people to stay because, I mean... I have no reason to be in heroic Hellfire anymore on my tank. I could always bring it out, but we have some people that are gearing out tanks, and I super appreciate that. Just it takes time.
For sure.
You
have to do normals, and we give you normals. Yeah. Aja, we have several guildies that run normals every week to help get people. I mean, we don't just say go do your shit on your own. We help you do that. So I think it's just the nature of dealing with we have a very large guild, and it's just the nature of trying to please everybody that just, oh man.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We've geared plenty of heroic people, and they just kind of left, and some
never
of those
logged
didn't even say
or they transfer out, or and that's at the end of the day, it's kind of like an investment. We're investing in you just like you're investing in us. And when you just blow us off like that, I literally will chase down somebody who leaves my guild. Not because I want to bring them back, because I want to know why they left. And if, you know, if they don't have a valid reason for leaving my guild and we just geared you, you know, we're going to square down in Goldshire because I'm frustrated because we took the time. You know, people have high expectations, and I'm about a two-way street. You have expectations of us. We have expectations of you. So you would not hesitate to yell when we weren't meeting your expectations. It's funny when the shoe's on the other foot. So we just, you know, balancing those things is nice. And you know, SecretSauce does a really good job at balancing and making sure that everybody gets what they need in the raid. And it's been lovely, actually. We're excited for Legion raiding.
I logged on today and it said 1,000 guild members, and I said, "Oh, that's crazy."
Yeah, we're maxed out the first guild, so we've got the second guild going. So if you guys are looking for a guild and you're not in the guild, you want to roll an alt just to see how it's like. We have the second guild, and the chats are connected. So I always recommend before bringing a tune, you come and you check it out to see, you know, make sure you like what's going on and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, because we lost a couple people.
We lost a few.
It happens. That's the nature of things, man. This is the nature of trying to please a million fucking people at one time. Sometimes you can't, and sometimes you can. Sometimes you just need more hands.
Jim's fault.
I do like to blame Jim for everything. Now that Hots isn't here, which he was typically the person I blamed before, now with Jim's age, it's going to be Jim that I blame.
No, the person to blame was Perp. Okay.
I know, Perp, literally, even to this day. I'm having tacos with Perp on the 25th, actually. He's going to be in Phoenix, so we're going to go do the taco thing. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Okay, let's do our week in WoW. Lycan, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft?
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Oh my god.
Really?
What? No, is that... Someone wrote it in the comments. Is that
that's awesome.
Sorry. I apologize.
No, actually,
but you really do look like Mr. Clean.
I do. It feels good though. It's a little rough.
It's a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. So I've got 5 more reps up to Exalted. I have 1 more friggin' rep to get, and all of them are just long grinds. It's either Current Eye, or the Consortium, or Brood, or Hydraxian Waterlords. But I have 1 more rep to get to Exalted, and I will finally get that frickin' beloved title. No new mount drops this week. Stream's still going pretty good. If you have a chance, 9:30, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. The week of the 26th, I will not be there. So the 26th and then the 28th, don't expect me to be streaming. That's when I'm going to go get my hand.
I'll be streaming Legion in your stead.
Yeah, so, yeah, just don't even log.
She got you covered.
But no, yeah, having a good time with the stream, just grinding it out. Did a little bit of pet battles this weekend. Didn't do as many as I should have, but I went and, well, when I redid the computer, all my rematch information's gone. So all my teams are gone, and I have to reset up all my new teams again. And it's just been really a pain in the ass. But yeah, hopefully I will get that last rep tomorrow on stream to finally get that beloved title I've been working for. And then it's going into Throne of Thunder. If anybody's interested and you want to come on Throne of Thunder, I'm going to be doing achievement runs this week. I'd love to have fun with the stream. If you want to log in, we'll do some achievement runs.
I can't wait to not do that with you.
I'm in.
I can't wait to not.
What time do you do that at, Nate? At
9:30. Yeah, thank you again for using my slave name. 9:30.
I caught myself halfway through it.
At 9:30 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time at night is usually when I do it. Tuesday, Thursdays. Also, Jimma Banks and I have some things going on in the background that Belle doesn't even know about. That we are going to be.
You know, and we'll probably put it on the guild calendar in both guilds, which is we need to start getting in the habit of putting it on the guild calendar. If you want people to come run with you, you should do it.
This is a stream thing, not a guild thing.
Wow, that's racist as shit.
Jeez.
No, definitely got to put it up on the guild because I know we have a lot of the streamers too that really been having fun time with them. We brought a couple more people over from the stream that are now joining the guild. One of them actually transferred their DK over, and Let Liadra, I think is the name of that person. I'm sorry, I think it's a she.
It's a he, Zach.
Okay, so yeah, he came over from the last stream.
He
actually wasn't from the stream. He's been watching the show for quite some time.
Excuse me.
Damn.
You stole my thunder.
No, I'm letting you know, like, he watches you on the stream because the show. So, like, you're famous to him because the show. I'm just trying to fact check here. all of a sudden, I can't be honest here. Where honesty's outlawed in this situation. We're not allowed to be honest anymore, guys. Nothing but lies and discontent and hate for the man.
Okay, you ruined his week in WoW too.
Damn. He's gonna go make a new segment.
I wasn't saying. I mean, he obviously came because he loves you. I'm just saying, like, he had been. Obviously, he was in your stream. I've never seen him in my stream, so that means he loves you more than he loves me. And I'm willing to give you that. You want to know why I'm willing to give you that? Because you look on point in that hoodie. That's why I'm willing to give you that.
The Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
So yes.
You hurt my feelings.
Oh, dip.
Yep, I'm loading up parts.
Well, this is quite awkward.
Moving on.
Moving on, transitioning into the hurt. If you guys are watching this, listening to this on iTunes, you really got to convert over to the YouTubes because you really do miss a lot when you don't get to see the facial reactions of the very upset Lycan because I just destroyed his dreams. That's what I do, guys. I'm a woman. I'm a fucking destroyer of fucking dreams. That's what I do. Jim, what did you do?
I did many things, kinda. Pet Battle bonus event. Garrison missions. I did some RBGs with the guild. Very fun. And then I did RBGs the next night without the guild. So, I mean, I'm just an alt, right? So the guild ran on Saturday night. I did some RBGs with just some random people. I downloaded the Curse chat for the first time ever. I think I used to avoid joining those groups because it always said Curse client, right? And it was very easy to use. I had a lot of fun using that. And it's crazy. I know you guys have talked about it on the show, like the difference between Alliance and Horde and PvP, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the struggle is real. Like if I want to RBG on my Horde tunes and you look at the open groups, there's like 2 groups. And then you go on the Alliance side and you look for a pug and there's like 30 groups. So, you know, I know there's a lot of changes for WoW in Legion and everything, but they got to fix that. If you've got 2 pug groups for RBGs on the Horde side, 30 on the Alliance. I get the racials. You know, I understand all the reasons why, but it's not okay. But I had a lot of fun doing the RBGs with the guild, and I think that's my week in WoW. Pet Battle bonus event, Garrison missions, PvP. Yeah.
Stellar week in WoW, actually.
Yeah, that works.
You don't clap for yourself. That's like liking your own status, Jesus.
Yes, smiley
I do
face.
all the time.
So do I. But that's just...
Well, as soon as a video's uploaded on YouTube, I'm the first to like it. I write first.
Actually, it's me because I do it while it's still private.
There you go.
You like can't even wait for it to be live. You're like, I like this.
I just want to know that there's one like Secret. What did you do this week?
So my week in WoW starts on Sundays. You know, the rest of the week I'm at work, making that money. You know, pay for all this fun stuff coming up in the future. But yeah, woke up 4 p.m. got ready to raid. That's basically my week in WoW every week. I mean, I don't count the hour that I log on for when I get home at work from work. Shit. Yeah, do all my gears and stuff. Go make that money to buy absolutely nothing because I save all my gold for unknown reasons. I mean, craft some stuff here, maybe sell it on the auction house.
What's the status on the guild raid? What are we now?
We're 13 heroic. We haven't done mythic. I think personally we're still not ready for it because there's still a lot of mechanics that we cannot do heroic wise, and that's going to be an even bigger issue mythic wise.
For sure.
I've tried mythic. Some people say it's easy. I will say they're full of shit because it's not. That's why it's a mythic raid. That's why it's taken
it's easy if you had alpha and beta and were practicing before.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of that, I mean, ever since Hellfire Citadel came out, there's been a million changes, and let's just go back to when it was extremely fucking hard. And I'm not going to say it's not hard still, but
it's been dumbed down a little bit.
Yeah, it's still going to take some time. It's going to still take a lot of execution, and everyone has to be on the exact same page for it to work properly. And I'm not saying riders can't be there, but at the moment we're not. And that's myself included. Like, I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm ready to go because I'm not.
Speak for yourself because I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready to go die.
I only get impaled like 1 or 2 times. You're so rude.
Oh Lord, no! Like 2 times back to back.
I know it's bad.
Like Drizzy.
Yeah.
But I don't run. I run Heartseeker. Where the fuck Heartseeker's supposed to go? Can I get an amen?
That's because you put your portal back here. That's
I know I cheat.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, there has been a lot of improvement for writers, and everyone can see it. At the same time, it's like we got complacent, as someone else told me earlier today. We got used to, hey, this is easy now. When I'll just throw it out there, the first time we faced Heroic Manaroth, we downed it, 1 shot, and it was like that for several weeks. And then we started backtracking, and we started dying, and we started wiping. And not to say that wiping in Phase 4 is better. It's a lot better than wiping in Phase 1, but shit happens, and it was like one of those nights that they needed a pep talk again, where basically I'm saying, I'll stop tanking, and you guys figure this shit out. But it worked. I hate to say it. Some people needed it. And
sometimes you have to get a little angry. You have to be frustrated so people listen to what you're saying. People don't listen to calm people. That's why when everybody's like, oh my God, Belle's freaking out again, because nobody listens to me when I'm calm and I'm normal and my voice isn't elevated and I'm just telling you, hey, could you not do that behavior? Nobody listens to you. Then all of a sudden you get crazy and start throwing dishes. Everybody, you have their full attention.
When are you calm and complacent and nice and relaxed?
But that's why
he doesn't even do that to us. You ought to see her during a pre-show. Holy hell! I don't even know where the hell I get you people. I can't believe you're doing this to me again.
I do not. They're lying.
2 minutes before the show.
They're lying. I just like everything to be perfect, right? I want to live in a perfect environment.
Organized.
And I want to be perfect.
Yeah.
Your pep talks before the show are aggressive. I almost cried today.
See, even Fang never said, yeah, never.
I mean...
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Have my back.
So there are times when I'm like, maybe you could not do that, right? Or I'll be like really, really nonchalant, matter of fact about something, like just say it in a nice, calm manner, and I get blown off. People don't listen to you. They keep doing that same behavior until you start acting like but you got to start acting like a fucking maniac to get somebody's attention, right? You have to literally be like
Chris Farley at the gas station when he's spraying him with the hose. I'm a maniac.
You gotta freak out. Like, example, I'll say really calmly my husband's name like 12 times and he won't even respond. The second I'm like, seriously? He's like, what? Like, he only hears me when my voice is elevated, because that's the human reaction, is just to just blow off the, you know, the whatever.
Everyone's immune to the yelling, so that's like...
Yeah. They're used to it already.
I don't yell all the time, though.
No, you don't.
Seriously is your code word. When you say seriously, people like, oh shit, what do we do wrong?
Can you not?
Can you? Yeah. Can you not? Or my Kirk out. I'm usually, when I post that means I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, Batman, did you have a week in WoW?
Just kidding.
Did we freeze? Oh, no, I was like, did we freeze?
Just kidding. I had.
Should I not?
So I've been dealing with a lot of health issues, which I know is not normal for me because I don't normally have health problems, but I've been dealing with a lot of migraines. I'm not going to talk about the issues I've had for the last 2 days. I'm on a lot of meds right now as we speak too, because I got Ebola, which the kids brought home some like upper head like sinus situation. Plus there's also another situation that I'm dealing with, and it's Anyway, so that's really barred me from doing a lot of things that I've wanted to do. I had to push the Hungry Games back to the 24th instead of doing it this weekend, Sunday, because I'm not prepared. I haven't been able to do the highlight videos. Like, there's just a lot of things I haven't been able to get done. Plus, I've been in Legion, research for the PDQ and for the show. Like, I've literally been in Legion. But my health is, I think it's just of the point where I'm getting old and my body's starting to break down. So I've had a whole life change in the No Rockstar, and I'm mostly organic now in most of my eating. Like, I've had to change a lot of my life. So the WoW perspective, I got to do RBGs. And we had Zarth. Zarth came back from the dead. He he got a girlfriend, which is typical when men get girlfriends and I'm friends with them. There's usually a parting ways for a while. I'm going to put Zarth on blast. He won't mind them telling his business because he knows how I am. So they typically go and they do, right? You want to cultivate that new relationship that you're dealing with. You want to make that your priority because that's, that's important. Now, what happens to the friends in these scenarios is the friends get left by the wayside and we're just put on hold, right? You just stay here. I'll be back for you in a couple months. And then they come back and they pick you up and they're like, okay, friends, get on my shoulder. We're going to go now. So it was nice to see him. He's worked out a lot of his life issues. He still works a lot, but he's got a lovely lady and they're Dixie Chick serious and he's in line for a promotion at work. He's been doing all that kind of stuff. I don't do any artificial sweeteners at all because I believe they cause cancer. So at all. I either do sugar or I don't do any. Like 100% no.
Sweet and low, girl.
Yeah, no, that stuff causes cancer in lab animals. I don't touch artificial sweeteners.
That's only if you like inject it into your bloodstream.
I mean, I don't like needles on that level unless it's tattoo needles, So, but yeah, I don't do the diet stuff, right? I don't diet. When I say diet, I mean I changed my eating habits in the sense of
she diets with tacos.
Right. I stopped drinking my Rockstar. I stopped eating. I started going more towards healthier food, looking into this clean eating situation, and just changing a lot of my habits around just to be a lot more healthier so that I could live a longer life without death. Because, I don't want to be dead. I want to be here, which is alive. This is the live meter. So oh my God, here goes. Nobody likes that kind of stuff, Jeff. I'm not allowed to have riboflavin. I can't have phosphates. I can't have anything that's fun for you, according to Jeff. Right, that's Fanglore. I'm not allowed to have.
It's like that segment from Superbad. All the good foods are shaped like dicks.
Literally, but it's not.
Riboflavin.
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 Oh,
your part is like a more lesson altogether.
I say riboflavin because it irks Jeff, so I like to get under
excited.
his skin. So I say it wrong on purpose because I do know how to say it. So that's what I did. I did RBGs, which were really, really fun. Kind of. A little bit of a new comp, and I'm trying to not be right, because I'm trying to understand that we're PvP, the nature of PvP, it's very high adrenaline. You super want to go in there, you want to kill all the things, and you want to be successful at it. So I do struggle on that aspect because in my PvP life I have a very hardcore mentality, but I don't. Like, I like having fun and PvPing with my friends, and I like doing all those things, but then when I'm in the battleground, I'm like, I want to kill everybody, and when you're not CCing or when the team is just not cohesion, I'm super stressed out. But I think we did really, really well. We did lose our RBG leader in Angel. Rest in peace. He wanted to have a life. Who the fuck wants to have a life? Hello?
Yeah, I thought like he really died. You said R.I.P. So.
No.
Rip.
But yeah, we did do well considering that it's new to us, and I'm going to be the leader of the pack, so God help everybody. You should all pray for your
You guys
souls.
all should quit.
Yeah, because it's going to be rough. WoW is life. Candy, is that Candace? I have a feeling that's Candace.
I think so too.
I think it's Candace. I feel like that's Candace. R.I.P. Pepperoni. Yeah, he left for real life. He's like, I want to have a life with my friends on Friday and Saturday nights. And it's funny because I thought so. It's funny because Friday nights are when we do WoW things. Like Friday nights, Saturday nights, that's when we're all in Zoom and it's social hour time. It's time for me to be with my friends because I've had a long week of dealing with fuckery at work, and that's my time when don't make plans with me. Don't ask me out to dinner on Friday and Saturday nights because I'm not going. I'm sitting right the fuck here in front of my computer. I'm talking to all my friends and I'm eating chips and salsa. Like, that's...
What kind of chips and salsa?
Oh, the Tostitos Cantina Thins that taste like the restaurant style. Oh,
that's right.
And they have the restaurant style Tostitos salsa. Oh, guys, this is why I have to go to the gym.
Do you know how many preservatives and artificial flavors in them?
There's probably riboflavin in there too.
There's probably riboflavin in it.
I just want to point out that the salsa has fresh garden vegetables. And I put a little extra squeeze of lemon in there because I put it in the food processor so you don't get the chunks of the vegetables. I like it to be the restaurant. So anyway, we veered off the WoW topic. So, With all that being said, I think we had a really, really great show. I think it was nice. I think Secret was nice. I don't know what we're going to end up calling him because I feel like Secret Sauce is going to end up getting changed to like
Sauce.
We'll probably like call him Saucy or something. Like we'll develop that kind of as it happens because I don't ever say Jimma Banks except during the intro.
You should.
Well, Jimmy, is that better?
Jimmy.
I'll come with a button-up shirt with just the one button and a bandana.
Yeah, that would be amazing, actually.
I did that in Zoom the one time.
Derek Sauce? That's kind of cool.
Derek Sauce.
We'll make an alt now.
Sauce,
Hey.
You did, Ewok.
Hey, Ewok.
We are just getting ready to close out the show, actually. But the good news is, the second I hit the stop button, you can rewatch so the good times can keep on rolling. So, make sure you guys go and check out the PWNCASTDailyQuest.com. I did recently change the look of it because that's what I do. I get ADD, I fall down the rabbit hole and decide I want to change all the things. So I did change the way that it worked and tried to make it more appealing. We are gearing up to add, and we're gearing up to add the other games to the news as well. Also, with that, if you are listening and you are watching and it is not live, and you are interested in writing about Overwatch, you are interested in writing about Heroes of the Storm, you are interested in writing about Hearthstone, you don't have to have any writing background in the sense of I can help you cultivate your writing, but if you're interested in writing news, you want to write helpful things, want to write something, and you want to be involved in the PDQ, I am looking for writers. So just go to the PWNCASTDailyQuest.com and go to be a part of our team. Just put general columnist. I need to get the other positions open up there so people can put in for it. But I am looking for people. Shoes on Heads will be coming soon. Ewok wants me to reinstate my pre-BlizzCon stream where we did stream for some extra fundage for us at BlizzCon for us to be able to get the shit we need to have, the wristbands, all that other happy crap. So that'll be coming pretty soon, actually. And in this stream, if you guys were not a party to that, every $25 I put a shoe on my head. There was a point where I had like 11 or 12 shoes balanced on my head while I was RBGing. So you guys know when I RBG, I'm all over the place. I'm slamming my mouse. I'm frustrated. I'm shaking my desk. And I had to literally sit perfectly still with all these shoes stacked literally this high on my head. It was great. I know, speaking of wristbands, I still have a whole pile for people that I promised. I have them, guys. I totally have them. So
you guys don't have one?
Don't fear.
I don't have one.
I'm gonna get them.
You don't have one, but you know her in real life, and you don't.
I know,
right?
that's fucked up, right?
Even
And we even seen him.
Yeah, we met for tacos.
Christmas present. I mean, all sorts of stuff.
I'm just a terrible person, guys. I know. Look, I have yours. I promise I'm going to. I'm a bad person, guys.
If you want a bracelet, just go ahead and post your address right there in the stream chat. And
don't post your address in the stream chat. Jeez, that's awful.
She's lying. She really wants you to.
So make sure you guys check that out. Also, make sure if you're following us on Twitter so that we can get to know you. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can go to the YouTube channel and look to see Secret Sauce does have a Twitter. It's at Secret Sauce or at Secret Sauce 101, right? So at Secret Sauce 101, make sure you guys follow him on Twitter and let's teach him how to Twitter because he 42 Wallaby may say. I love it. So we are going to go ahead and get on out of here. I do want to thank you guys for listening and watching and being a part of our family for our hour and a half every week. Make sure that you guys tune in next week. You don't want to miss Asmongold Live. That's going to be pretty awesome. Secret, welcome to the show. I think we can have you back again. I think you passed the first round.
Well, his resume checked out, I was saying last week, and now in RL right here, he really gelled really well, actually. Before we end the show, can I say something?
Oh, my.
We're gelling. Well, I just wanted to make sure, Belle, you got a lot of stuff going on, the website, the guild, the Hungry Games, the show, and you're not feeling good. I think everyone should just kind of give her a salute or a little, golf clap, just so she feels a little love. She does put in a lot of work in the show, and I've been kind of messaging saying, you need to rest and blah blah blah, and being like a little brother to her, and she doesn't rest, between the family stuff and all this, the stuff on the show. So salute to you, and we're lucky to have you include us in the journey, and we appreciate it. I do anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, we all do, especially when she's burning.
I feel like That
Gemma
was my
Banks.
eulogy right now. Are you plotting to kill me? Because that was really
You're
nice.
gonna take over the show.
Nobody's ever
Hey,
nice
Jim.
to me.
You've got something on your nose.
Just because he's nice to
it-
me doesn't mean he's brown nosing. Maybe you should take a play from his playbook, huh?
No.
You should.
I've been on the show longer than everybody else.
This is true. Yeah, older guys are set in their ways. You know.
Yes, Secret Sauce is our raid leader.
I don't think we need to call him anything other than Secret Sauce. I think we're all adults and we can just say Secret Sauce in a mature way.
Every time I say it, I don't think
Or you
pure
could say
thoughts. There's
secret.
that, right? Because like it's like the word moist. When people say the word moist, like it's just one of those words.
It's because you're thinking crazy stuff. Like when you say that the word
Reminds of
moist
the
really
gutter.
irritates you.
Are you moist?
Oh my god, that's so gross.
Is anyone watching?
So I love that if you guys are in chat right now, he did link the picture of me balancing those shoes. That's just, and as a germphobe, it was awful. It was literally, I was like, does anybody have any, and somebody had shoes that smelled. I'm not even going to go there.
I think you should practice balancing the shoes for some etiquette so you're not all.
I know, it was really awful. But we are going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I'm going to leave you with our beautiful ending intro. And make sure you guys do all the following, liking. Just do
you.
Do it.
Do we have any?
Just do
Is
it.
there any figures? No figures?
No figure.
Do I have anything?
Hey, I got that.
I got my Ferb. My Phineas, I mean.
Those aren't Warcraft
Secret Sauce, we
related
got to get
stuff.
you to have the figures, because that's like a thing.
I have them, remember? I was buying them at Hot Topic. I was buying them at Angie's work, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the one that came with Loot Crate,
Yep.
I want that.
Bye, guys.
I don't even have anything.
Toodles.
Have a good night.
So is that why Hotch is such good friends with you? Because he doesn't have girlfriends, he has boyfriends?
That's probably valid, actually.
Probably valid.
Well, I don't really know. Remember he said the other day where he's like, when he watched the montage I did, he's like, now I realize I did it. Because he watched himself on all the videos that I have.
Yeah, she was trying to pretty bad right now.
Thank you.
Is that what I'm doing?
Good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.